Let's talk about the single most important shield protecting your home from the outside world, your roof. And if you're living in Sydney, that shield is in a constant battle with the elements. So today, we're going to break down exactly how to choose the right roofing to make sure you win that battle. So let's just start with a really direct question. Take a second and think, is your roof really ready for what Sydney can dish out? Because it's so much more than just a cover over your head. It's your home's shield. And we need to figure out if that shield has any cracks. And let's be real, the Sydney weather gauntlet is no joke. I mean, you've got that blazing sun with intense UV rays that can literally bake and break down weaker materials. Then, out of nowhere, you get those sudden, heavy downpours. And if you're anywhere near the coast, that corrosive, salty sea air is just relentlessly working against your home 24/7. That's why your roof isn't just another part of your house. It is your home's first and honestly most important line of defense. It's the one thing standing between your family and whatever the sky decides to throw your way. So yeah, getting this choice right, it's not just important, it is absolutely critical. Okay, so how can you tell if that first line of defense is starting to buckle? Let's dive into the key warning signs that are basically screaming at you that it might be time for a change. The first and, well, the most obvious sign, especially on older corrugated iron roofs, is rust. If you're seeing those ugly orange and brown patches spreading, or bits of metal that are starting to flake away, that is a massive red flag. Trust me, once rust takes hold, a full replacement is almost always a smarter investment than just another temporary patch-up job. Next up, leaks. Even a tiny little drip can cause a shocking amount of damage. Those water stains you might notice on your ceiling, they're a clear signal that something is wrong upstairs. And if you ignore it, that small leak can lead to widespread water damage, dangerous mold, and even serious problems with the structure of your house. Now for this next one, you might need to actually go outside and look up. Your roof sheets should be flat, secure, and uniform. If you see wavy edges or panels that look bent or sheets that seem to be lifting up, that's warping. It means the material is compromised and it just can't protect your home effectively anymore. And finally, think about repairs. If you feel like you're playing a constant game of whack-a-mole, patching one leak just for another one to pop up somewhere else, it's probably time to do the math. All those small repair costs add up incredibly fast, and a full replacement often becomes the smarter and, frankly, less stressful solution. So, just to recap, the big signs you need to be watching for are spotting rust, any water stains, warped panels, and of course, needing frequent repairs. But here's a more subtle clue you can listen for. Increased noise when it rains. Yeah, if storms are suddenly sounding way louder than they used to, it could mean the sheets have loosened up or the material itself has just worn thin. Okay, so maybe you've identified a problem. What's next? Well, let's meet the main contenders, your go-to options when it comes to roofing materials here in Sydney. First up is the modern performer, Colorbond steel. You've almost certainly heard of this one. It's one of Australia's most popular choices for a reason. It's known for its super tough, baked-on finish that was designed specifically for our harsh climate. Think sleek looks and high performance. Now check out how these benefits all work together. That fantastic rust resistance makes it a total no-brainer for coastal properties that are battling sea spray. The huge range of colors means you can match it perfectly to any modern home style. And get this, its reflective coating can actually help lower your air conditioning bills in summer. It's a real long-term investment that's also pretty much maintenance-free. Next, we have the reliable classic, Zinc, or as pretty much all of us know it, corrugated iron. This is that traditional Aussie look. It's simple, it's honest, and it's incredibly dependable. I mean, there's a reason it's been keeping Australian homes dry for over 100 years. And you can see its appeal right here. First off, it's much, much kinder on the wallet, which makes it a fantastic budget-friendly option. It's still incredibly tough and durable, yet it's also lightweight. It just has that classic nostalgic charm. And for some people, you just can't beat the sound of rain, that classic drum solo on a tin roof. All right, our third contender is a completely different beast, polycarbonate. Now, this isn't for your main roof. This is the light specialist, a transparent material that's perfect for areas where you actually want to let the sunshine pour in. So where you use it is absolutely key. Polycarbonate is fantastic for things like patios, pergolas, and carports because it just floods those spaces with beautiful natural light. It's also incredibly lightweight and really easy to work with. But you have to remember, it is not as tough as metal, so it's strictly for partial coverage, not for the main roof over your head. This table really makes the choice crystal clear. I mean, when it comes to the kind of durability you need for a main roof, metal is the obvious winner, hands down. The key difference here is light transmission. Metal blocks it completely, while polycarbonate, of course, lets it right through. The bottom line is pretty simple. Metal is for the complete roof over your house, while polycarbonate is for those attached structures like patios and skylights.
Now that we know the players, how do you actually pick one? Let's build a simple framework to help you make the right call for your home, your budget, and your style. But wait, before we go any further, we have to stop and address a critical safety warning. If your home was built before the 1990s, there is a very real chance that your roof contains asbestos. And this quote from our source material says it all. You will be tempted to take it down yourself, but that is a risk that no homeowner should take. Asbestos fibers are incredibly dangerous when they get airborne. This is not a DIY job. I repeat, it is absolutely critical that you hire certified professionals for asbestos inspection and removal. Your family's health is just not worth the risk. Okay, with that critical safety warning covered, let's get back to your decision. It really just comes down to answering 4 key questions about your own situation. First, what's your budget? Are you thinking about short-term cost or long-term value? Second, your location. Remember, coastal homes need that extra rest protection. Third, your style. What look actually fits your home? And finally, what are your long-term plans? If you're staying put for decades, durability is king. And that brings us to our final section, the verdict. Let's pull all this information together to help you secure what is probably your most important investment. So, what's the bottom line? Well, for the vast majority of Sydney homes, metal roofing is simply the smart, durable choice. It's specifically engineered to handle our unique and, let's face it, sometimes crazy climate. So whether you lean towards the premium performance of Colorbond or the classic, budget-friendly appeal of corrugated iron, you're choosing a material that is truly built for Sydney. So we'll leave you with one final question to think about. When you look at the cost of a new roof, do you see it as just another expense you have to deal with, or do you see it for what it really is, a long-term investment in the security, the safety, and the value of your home? Think about it. Thanks for tuning in.